Where were we? Which level? So many levels to choose from, but they're becoming fewer and fewer. I think it was on this one. Let me double check before I teleport you. Yes, there we are. And where are we here? These are, there we go. Okay. So, why is this one not marked as dead? There it is. All right. Yeah, we kind of like ended pretty abruptly last time. You had just fought another one of those Sugathi creatures. This one being a little more martial in its appearance. So apparently there are different kinds of them. Um, and you had briefly glimpsed things, so that maybe they can just go home to their elemental plane of Earth. But that would require a ritual and a little bit of an investment of resources. So for now, you had decided to continue exploring, and you've entered the room next door of the spiraling staircase, which is a rust and grime filled octagonal chamber. There's a wide hallway leading south and a door to the west, and there are the smashed remains of a rusty grate on the floor. Um, and maybe there's a Birke-shaped hole in those remains where she came crashing down not too long ago. Yeah. So, what do you want to do?
Oh, I see more doors to the south.
Yeah, it's a pretty long hallway that continues for quite some time, and there's various doors, pretty large doors too, double winged.
Well, maybe we can start with this one.
That works for me.
Okay. Wait.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you open this up, and right behind that door, there's like a sequence of, or a series of steps, but they are built from natural ledge, or stone, sledge, I guess, layered stone, essentially. The walls are mossy. There's pebbles on the floor. Looks much more natural than the rest of the rooms you've seen so far, but still, uh, you know, man-made.
Hmm.
It's been kind of like um, a designed sort of landscaped hallway with a um, with a stair built into this, but using the natural occurring stone.
Yes. Some at this point will probably grimace and start complaining that like I have a bad feeling about this. Like every time we break into some quote unquote natural caverns, some disgusting slimy tentacle monster comes across and then explodes.
Yeah, to be fair, I have a bad feeling about most of this place besides my library.
Hmm.
I suspect that this leads down to where those elemental type creatures were, so perhaps we would do best to wait until we have gathered the necessary components to banish them.
I agree.
That's a good point. So south.
Okay. All right, so you move further on south until you hit this like large set of doors.
You want to try these or those at the end?
Let's take everything in order,
Um,
I suppose.
yeah, just clear as we go, I guess.
Okay. You open the door and you find a room with metal shelves and what looks like operating tables. So you're kind of getting a sense of what this room may have been used for in the past. There are clean bones and bits of rusted metal in piles throughout the room, like in various places, spread out.
There's bones, Lucca.
Oh,
And as you move into the room, there's movement in the chamber and like a weird squelching sound as from underneath the table and out of the shelves, this ooze-like jelly starts slithering out. Actually, two of them, and they're quite big. They can spread out apparently and become kind of well hidden in its surroundings. But they're both of them are sort of coalescing into these large blobs that look something like this, with like these pseudopods dangling off of them, and you can still see like bits of bone and stuff inside of them. And they slither out of the corners and just kind of like one of them moves here and the other one moves there, and then they just pause.
Okay, these are big.
Mhm.
So
Can I
what
do a
would you-
knowledge check on these things?
Absolutely.
Immediately to see what this pausing behavior might.
I mean, let's move into initiative just so we can keep track of actions here. And I will put everyone in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2. Yes. Okay. I'll just roll initiative for everyone because it's really just about the order of things. So I guess let's just start with Augrael, even though Soma rolled higher, but Augrael is the first one who wants to do something. So Augrael, you go.
Okay. What would the knowledge check be here? He's trying to figure out
Occultism,
what this.
or if you have some oozy lore.
leave it.
Yeah, I think Soma qualifies for Uzi lore by this point.
Yeah, you can't quite. I mean, this is certainly fascinating, but you don't really know what it is. Some sort of ooze, you would think. That's not very
Yeah.
helpful. Anything else you
Do
want to
they
do?
have bones inside them? Is that what that art is?
Yeah, yeah. Like bones and bits of metal and like various remains. But maybe, yeah, maybe with your check you would like put that together that it looks like they're not able to digest certain things or dissolve certain things.
Interesting.
Because the bones are just
He'll throw a bone at it, like toss it over to it gently to see if it goes inside of it.
okay. So you toss over the bone, and then one of those pseudopods comes lashing out with double check that here. I guess it doesn't say. So yeah, it lashes out, kind of whips out, smacks into the bone, pulls it in, and then the bone just kind of like floop, suspended inside the ooze, and then that pseudopod forms again. Soma, anything you want to do?
I think Soma will start playing danger music. uh, Although, since we are not actually in combat yet, I think instead of like actual courage or defense, Soma will start playing Inspire Competence. And if Lucca or Ottardo will want to try doing the knowledge check, she will use it to aid them.
Okay.
I'll click it right now. Once it loads. Because it's slow. So she like I suppose she already has that summoned instrument from previous encounters, so she just touches one string and it starts like a small uh, low whine at it, and that would be it.
All right. Then it's Lucca.
Well, yeah, Lucca will try to determine what these could be.
All right. Occultism or relevant lore.
I don't think I have any appropriate lore unless they're aberrations, but
No.
then what should it be instead?
Occultism.
Okay.
Well, in that case, like Soma's airy music will put you in the mood to aid you.
All right, let's see.
And
Oh
proficient.
wow. Maybe you know them so well because they're to you they might be very useful. They're known as ochre jellies. They are animate masses of protoplasm with a sickly combination of yellow, orange, and brown hues typically, which is also what you see here. Their acidic bodies dissolve flesh but leave other materials, including a victim's gear and bones, intact. Um, so maybe that's some a reason why you would know about them because some ancient cultures would entomb bodies in stone sarcophaguses with ochre jellies to allow the ooze to break down the flesh and clean and polish the bones.
Oh, you mean?
They're mindless oozes, and as such, they have certain immunities, which is acid, critical hits, electricity, mental, piercing, precision, slashing, unconscious, and visual. Um, and I think everything else just comes from being an ooze. So I'll say I already told you that they're famous for their acid. So you have pretty good roll actually. So you get to ask two more questions.
Um. Okay. Anything that would explain their pausing behavior? Like, are they not naturally aggressive, or what would explain that?
Yes, very good point. So they are not necessarily evil. Um, they just look for food, and you might yeah, I'll put that thought into your head that maybe somebody kept them here and regularly supplied food.
Well,
Okay. Um. Any. Let's see. Well, I don't even know what to ask. I guess any
Any
special
open
like
doors?
attacks or offensive abilities.
Yes, so they have been known to like grow these pseudopods as you've already seen, and big spider crawling right past me. That's
yeah.
creepy. Um, So they've been known to like spontaneously grow these pseudopods and then lash out with them to grab onto a victim and constrict, and then they also with their acidic bodies that just double damage essentially because there's the acid and the force. So that's their main attack routine.
Right. Well, Luca will try to very quickly relay this. He says, I believe they're being kept as pets or servants of some sort. They're looking for food in the form of flesh. Go, don't get too close or they'll hug you.
Maybe we should just
They haven't,
back out.
if they haven't attacked us yet, does that mean that they're full?
Or maybe they're looking for food. Maybe they want us to give them some.
They are, I believe, at least somewhat trained. Perhaps a hint of domestication.
Hmm.
You have an action left, Luca.
Oh, I have an action left. I don't have any meat on me, so in any form, I'll just leave Ottardo with that information.
Okay, Ottardo.
Um, I think Ottardo is going to make a gamble here. He supposes that if these things haven't already attacked us, it's probably that they're not looking for food right now. So he will raise his shield as a precaution and just start moving and inspecting the room.
Okay, so you raise your shield, kind of squeeze by that operating table, inspecting
Yeah.
the shelf. Okay,
Yeah. Last action would be seek.
seek. Okay. So you don't see seeking is for like hiding creatures and stuff, right? That's not necessary.
I would just the general, looking for whatever is interesting in on this side of the room.
So that would be search then, no, which is the arbitrary distinction. They're separate actions. You either look for signs of creatures or objects, possibly including secret doors or hazards, and the other one is like searching through the contents on the
I,
shelves and stuff like that.
I think the distinction is that search is exploration, so you don't do it in combat.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Search means you seek.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yes, it's so. Search means you seek meticulously for hidden doors, conceal hazards and stuff. Okay, you got it. All right, let me give you a little bit here what you find as you look through this. Um, okay, so the first thing you notice is that there are some shafts in the ceiling that lead up. Um, but the light that shines in there is at some point just blocked, so it maybe there's a lid or something on top of those shafts. Um, but they definitely go up for quite some time, so probably to the level above. Um, and there are various bits of junk in the room. It's totally possible that something valuable might be around, but that would take more time than just a single action to really go through it.
Okay.
And then it's the top of the round, and so you've been kind of like been carefully figuring out like what is it? Are they okay? What are they doing? But apparently they were waiting for food, and now they come inching closer, like slithering closer. And then one of them thinks like, oh, maybe they are offering this guy for food, and it lashes out with one of its pseudopods, misses by a mile, then follows up with the second one, which also misses. The other ochre jelly sees that yummy pile of flesh that is just fall off the bone tender
Well
and
aged.
and lashes
yeah,
out.
very well aged.
And it's like it just kind of like flows all over the table, and you can see that it basically the table sticks into this ooze jelly. It doesn't matter at all to it, and it strikes out once, lashes out twice, and those are their turns. Augrael.
I think Augrael's like, maybe we should come back when we have something to give them. I'm not going to be very effective poking this thing as he like sees this table just sort of be enveloped by this jelly. And I think he's going to back up and out of the room, and he'll ready an action to shut the door if everyone else comes out.
All right. Soma.
Okay, and now we'll turn on the danger music. Since these creatures seem to be rather clumsy, we will go with inspire courage. Uh,
Okay.
since it seems we have the defense covered. Uh, inspire courage on myself, and I think I'll try to give them some more bones by using telekinetic projectile. So like one of the skulls will just lift up and try to smash one of these creatures. I think it will. I will try to do it with a bludgeoning version. Telekinetic projectile, bludgeoning, attack, go.
Ooh,
Too bad.
too bad they're immune.
Nice.
Yeah, you just do the. Let's see what happens. Can you roll the crit damage? I want to see if the automation catches that.
Nice. Let's see if it does.
Oh, okay. Now you rolled regular damage.
It didn't. I mean, there's a button to just roll damage, not critical damage.
Oh,
It must factor it in before.
Yeah, there's a button to just to double it. In top
Hmm.
one.
Okay. Well, you fling your projectile at the creature, and as it hits, it just kind of like sends the whole jelly jiggling, which seems to be very unpleasant for it, and it takes a bit of damage. Lucca.
Lucca like puts his head in his hands, and I said they were waiting for food, not that they weren't hungry. And he's just gonna firebolt this one that's attacking Ottardo.
All right.
Not firebolt. In kindle, inflame, ignite, whatever it's called.
Ignite. Yep, that makes sense.
Ignition.
How many versions are there of little fires? Okay. It's a hit.
Well, it hit on a 16.
Yeah, they have a pretty low AC. All right. Which is really mean because they're immune to the critical hits. All right. So yeah, that fire seems to be really effective, and it like shrinks, recoils from the flames, and takes a good amount of damage.
And I
Third
guess
action?
Lucca will use this last action to just back up with the others.
Okay, Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield, and then he will start moving. Well, it seems that everybody has decided that we're leaving, so he's just going to step out of the room.
I just can't really poke it. And it might be really boring for you to just hit him all the time.
Augrael had a
Yep.
ready that action.
Okay, so you all step back, I would assume, from the doors, but nothing squeezes through or slithers out after a few rounds, and you seem to be okay.
Doors are the ultimate enemies for everything in this place.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's find some dead bodies to toss in there, and then we'll. Actually, didn't we
Yeah.
just leave some dead bodies in the previous chamber?
So the next baddies we fight, we could bring them back there.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have two. Yeah, we do have two just in the big circular stairwell.
Oh, do you want to just do that?
Plenty of meaty bits. Look, all I'm saying is, I can't be 100% certain, but I have a feeling that we've managed to loop back around in the general vicinity of Jafaki's workshop or laboratory or whatever it is. Oh, there. Okay, yes. Open the door anyway.
Isn't that where we want to go, though?
It is.
So-
I'm just saying. Never mind.
Just be careful.
Fearless leader opens the door, and
Fearless
there's
leader.
music. There's music echoing through this hallway, clearly coming from the east. So you must be very close to the tavern,
Oh,
and it sounds like the band is playing. So yeah, it's very possible that you are now you've circled all the way around, and now you're in that hallway that they were talking about, where the chosen ones would be waiting to be taken to. But there's also a set of double doors to the west.
Feels for doing it. Okay.
No time
The,
like the present.
uh, uh, okay, fine.
Lucca goes
I was
and the
about
door pops open.
You wanted to say something?
I was just wondering. We're about to attempt to confront, possibly destroy this Jafaki, and we know that we were leaving a room full of enemies behind us. Is there no way to potentially block that door or lock it so that we don't get swarmed?
Do you mean the jellies or Shadow Malice?
I mean, Shadow Malice, yes, indeed, and their rabid fan base.
No, they respect us. We're good. We
What
beat
about
them
the
enough.
strange bouncer? Okay, never mind. You're just opening all the doors. Fine, fine. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
It's so loud in there, they probably can't even hear us.
They probably can't. You're right. There's no way of signaling each other or anything. No way of remote viewing rooms
Not
or
here.
anything like that.
And as Luca points out, that maybe it might be wise to cover your back. The rest of the gang moves further forward, and you open those doors into that next room where anchored shackles and fetters line the north and west walls. There are bloodstains everywhere on the stone floor. There's that double door that you just came in through the east, and there's one that looks very similar to the south. And there are two steep staircases beside each one of those sets of doors that lead further down. Hold on. At first, like as you move into the room with as the light not fully illuminating the whole thing, you see this sort of pile on the far wall amongst all of those fetters and shackles. And at first you're like, oh no, there's some remains of some poor creature that was trapped in here. But then as the light glistens off of that shape, you're starting to realize it's moving. And then it's starting to pull itself up, and you're still trying to take in its shape and form, and you're wondering, is it another one of those weird slug-like things or another one of those Sugathis? And it just, as it you know slithers into view, it still hardly makes sense. It's this horrific amalgamation of hands, fingers. There are bones and teeth, but in places where they don't make sense, arranged in unnatural ways, and it's just horrifying
Oh my
to
god.
behold. Um, let's see. Here we are.
This must be the chosen.
Okay, and on top of everything, what is even weirder is that it seems to be. I mean, in some ways, it seems to be aggressive, like as it's like starting to slither towards you. But at the same time, you can kind of see it like duck and flinch at every movement that you do, as if it's weirdly fearful at the same time. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna bring you all into the encounter. Roll for everyone. And there we go. Ottardo.
Ottardo goes first. He's not prepared for what to do here. Hmm.
You're always prepared, leader.
I think what he will do is raise his shield, and then he'll try to confidently wield his hammer. But not manage to do that.
Maybe it just shakes you to your core, the sight of this thing. and you can't quite pull off the confidence.
And that's it. Nothing for his
Okay,
next action.
Soma.
Uh, yeah, we need some courage to face this thing, so let's provide it. Uh, that's one, and and actually, I think Soma will just cast shield on herself, and that mostly, well, she will also move if I can, okay, because it's still we're still paused. Yeah, I think will Soma will, yeah, move side by side with Ottardo to have a better view.
Wait, so you switched to Inspired Defense?
What? No,
Did
no,
you
no,
have
sorry,
Inspired
sorry.
Courage and Inspired Defense here? What's going on?
No. I meant to cast shield. I misclicked on the quick bar.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, and move here.
Okay. All right. And then it's that horrific creature's turn, and it flails around with these tentacle-like appendages and its three-fingered claws and its misshapen body, and its mouth opens, and inside its mouth, the second mouth opens as well, and then both of these openings start screaming a shriek of just nightmarish horror and pain. And let's see. Well, sorry, I should have moved it first as it slithers over here, and then it'll do that, and everyone well, the three of you will need to do the will save. Lucca is far away enough.
Mhm.
Is it some sort of fear effect?
No, it's an emotion effect, but not fear.
Hmm.
Whoa. Is it already time for a hero point, maybe?
Well, I mean, how bad can it be? I mean, you mean
Okay, that's fine. Your call. All right, Augrael failed. So Augrael, you are stupefied one.
Ooh, okay.
Um, and, and then Ottardo, you succeeded. You are also stupefied one for now. And Soma, you crit failed. Okay. You are also stupefied one for now. And that was its turn. That was two actions. One to move and then two actions to unleash the scream, and then it's Lucca's turn.
Um, Luca's gonna say, Jafaki, I presume, and he's going to.
That you roll so high because it's just interesting. Because for some reason you've heard that story, the horrific um, tale of surface elves, their subterranean darkland cousins, the drow, and then being subjected to particularly cruel and humiliating alchemical magic, flesh warping practices. Um, since it's fairly well known that there's a number of drow that take special delight in tormenting their surface dwelling kin. And during that process, sometimes they create something called an Urna curse. So it's written like this, spelled like this. Um, so it's essentially taking an unfortunate elf and then turning it into this deformed mass of misplaced limbs and loose flesh and bony protrusions. Um, and they are
Elf, that's
also
crazy.
yeah, that is what is so horrifying about this, because there once was an intelligent creature in there, but they're also subjected to mental conditioning. So they actually now hate all elves, um, and there's probably very little, or maybe even fortunately very little of their original soul and consciousness left in there. So that's the background on that. It is an aberration, and let me see. Yes, and its most famous ability is that they are able to share their suffering through their tentacles. So if they strike a creature with one of their tentacles, they have the ability to just overwhelm their mind with horrific images, which can leave them stunned. And
Cool.
you can ask me 3 more questions.
Okay, first of all, do I think, like, is this thing intelligent? Like, could this possibly be Jafaki, the thing that's conducting experiments, or does it seem more likely this is some sort of, it's just another horrific creation?
There's no way at this point has just barely above animal intelligence.
Okay, so probably just a guardian or something. All right. Any particular weaknesses?
Weaknesses. None that you None that stand out. Yeah, they're fairly slow. 15-foot speed.
Okay. Um I guess lowest saving throw?
Will.
Okay. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's 3 questions.
That is 3 questions. All right. Yeah.
All right, so Lucca will say, "Don't let it touch you unless you want to be emotionally scarred for life." Uh, it's little more than a dumb beast, although it used to be an elf. And it's let's kill it. Definitely. This is definitely.
Hello?
I mean, you got to go with Lucas' assessment here, because I mean, this is even to your eyes, this is horrific and
Yeah.
gross.
Is it a success or a failure or
That's just a regular fail.
regular fail?
Oh, right, you need to know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a regular failure.
Um, I think he'll try and maneuver and get behind it. So why can't I grab my tokens?
All right, stop. As you move
Oh
in
no.
close, it uses, which I think is my first attack of opportunity in the entire adventure, and it lashes out with one of its tentacles.
Uh,
Which you crit
Oh.
fail. And
Yeah.
there are, as you get hit by it, of course it hurts, but you are just overcome with these horrific images of your, maybe they're even from your actual life, your life, not just your unlife life, and you just see your body fall to ruin, and you see all the depraved things that you may have done since then, and you see even more horrific things that you don't think have ever happened, but it still makes you feel, um, disgusted by yourself regardless. And it takes up so much of your mental bandwidth that you become stunned 4.
Oh no. Oh.
So
Augrael
I guess
just
the
starts,
others
he
just
just
kind of
like squints and like curls into himself, just like, oh.
yeah, exactly.
Stun
Uh,
4. That's brutal.
that is brutal. So let's see. You've become senseless. You can't act. Stun usually includes a value. So if you were stunned 4, you would lose all 3 of your actions on your turn, reducing. So okay, but you already took that action. That was interrupted. Now you lose the remaining 2,
Yeah, and then
and
So
the
I'll
then
be,
you
remaining
still
two carry over.
yes, and
so I'll
that
be
now you're
stunned
stunned
2.
2
Okay.
for your next turn. So then it's Ottardo.
Okay, this seems bad. Uh,
Yeah, you see Augrael just kind of mumble gibberish to himself as soon as he got hit by that tentacle. So I guess Lucca was right.
yeah, but I guess we are here anyway, so Ottardo will raise his shield and try again to land a blow on this disfigured creature and fail,
Mm-hmm.
and try once more.
There we
And hits.
go. Courage.
Yes, because of the courage
Yep.
imbued by the courageous anthem. And thankfully, despite its misshapen body, it doesn't seem to be resistant to your bludgeoning damage. Do full effect. And that's your turn. Soma.
okay.
Oh, and sorry, Ottardo, you're no longer stupefied.
Okay.
Okay, I am stupefied, so every time I cast any spell, I have
Yes.
to make it as a flat check, right? So let's get
Correct.
to it. So first is inspire courage. Wait,
Nice. Nailed it.
uh, then make it lingering, uh, I think that should be another one, another check, right?
Is that a spell, the lingering?
Lingering composition. It is a focus spell. Yes.
As the occult. Okay, yeah, then it would take one.
Do I click on the same one?
Yep, you can also prompt yourself. I think there's if you hover over the effect, there's a little prompting thing.
Okay, good. So this one goes through as well. Check performance. Yep, it goes. So now it critical success. It lasts 4 rounds.
4 rounds.
Nice. Yeah, and for my last action, I think. Well, let's try to do the same bludgeoning telekinetic projectile. One of the iron shackles probably will try to animate and smack it or something like to that effect. And another
Nice.
DC flat check.
Another success.
Good. So I suppose. Well, as I said, someone like gave herself to resignation. So like seeing a slaughtering monstrosity dripping in blood and oozes was no longer bothering her that much. So she can act regardless. Take projectile bludgeoning attack. Okay, never mind.
And that's a critical move.
Her luck run away.
Okay. And then it's its turn, and it'll once again start screaming as it has before, out of both of its mouths. So that's a will save for all three of you. Not Lucca. Augrael. Oh, Ottardo crit failed.
Yeah, Ottardo's gonna hero point that. Well.
Oh my god.
Perfect. Oh, all right. All right. What's up?
He pointed it just to make it. Yeah.
Well, it is one better.
Is this something you can counter song?
I could try to counter song, but that costs a focus point, and I spent my last one to make the Inspire Courage.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is that for Augrael, his stupefied condition goes up by 1.
Oh.
So you're just kind of collapsing. Now this scream just makes this horrific barrage of horrible, corrupted semi-memories, just even more unbearable. Soma, yours goes up by 2 because you crit failed the first one. And Ottardo, you are stupefied 1. This is going great. So now the final act for it is who's it gonna take? Doesn't really care that much. It wants to spread as much suffering as possible, and I would say at this point Soma and Augrael are thoroughly suffering, so it's gonna try to attack Ottardo. Lashing out with one of its pseudopods, striking you for 24 points of damage.
Ooh.
I think Ottardo will use his shield here.
So you get to block some of it, but some still goes through, which means you need to do that will save.
Okay.
Okay, so you negate most of its momentum, but still like it hurts as it strikes past your shield. And then you also are haunted by this barrage of horrific images that flood your mind. And you are stunned 2, however, because it's just a regular failure.
Oh man.
Lucca.
Yeah. In spite of how poorly things are going, Lucca is going to try to summon up his most intimidating voice. And he's going to try to frighten this creature, and he's going to shout out, "You have forgotten much of who you once were, but remember that you were once an elf, and now you're this ugly, ugly, ugly bastard." That sucks. Like, you just gave him frightened too. I didn't even roll.
Oh, sorry. That it actually still had that from before. Like I said, it just seemed weirdly right.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it's like
It's actually it's frightened now.
It has been the whole time.
Okay, then he would not intimidate because it would attack or anything.
It wouldn't.
No, the
Yeah.
frightened. It's just a condition.
Okay.
he already said it was
And
safe
with-
from us
with-
attempt.
Yeah, and with your crit succeed on the recall knowledge, I'll give you that you saw that in its demeanor.
Okay. In that case, he's gonna run along a similar vein, but he's gonna say, "Yes, you were once an elf, but you have lingered in this world too long. Fortunately for you, Marathala has seen your doom, and it is us." And he's gonna try for a Hail Mary here, which I don't know. It probably will do nothing, but we'll see.
What do we have? Impending doom. Save. Succeeds. Oh, because it's an incapacitation effect.
Yeah, it's incapacitation.
Okay, so it's a regular success, which means it's unaffected for 1 round, and on the second round it becomes oh great. You're gonna have to remind me of that. So it might be off guard. Okay, and then it takes damage. Wow, what a spell. Okay, so it does immediately seem to respond to this.
It's great if you can land a failure, or a crit failure, but
Yeah.
okay. Then that's 2 actions. Lucca is just gonna. He doesn't even want to get too close because of that screaming. He's gonna use his last action to just activate his focus spell as he calls upon Marathala. The horns sprout from his brow once again, and the air around him seems to grow thick with smoke. And that little red light flares up in the depths of his sockets.
I wonder what that must look like for the rest of the party that are already receiving all of these horrific visions. And now Lucca just kind of in the background shows his more diabolic side. All right, so Augrael, you lose 2 actions, so you have 1
I think
action left.
was I stunned 3 because wasn't I
You were
stunned
already,
2?
you were stunned 4, so
Then
and you
I-
had so first you were taking an action, and then with 2 actions left, you got stunned 4. So 2
I had
of those
1
actions.
action left because of the recall knowledge.
Oh, okay.
And I was moving, and so well, it was I guess it was in the middle of my second action, which I don't know how
Right.
that
Which was
resolves
interrupted,
to-
Yeah. You lose the rest of it. Okay, so then I guess you lose the remainder of this. And that's just your turn.
Yeah.
And then it's Ottardo.
Uh,
You have 1 action left.
Okay. Well, this thing seems to hit very hard, and he is going to prioritize getting his shield up.
All right. Raise your shield. Soma?
Well, Stupefied clouds my thoughts, which means spell attack bonuses, spell DCs, and blah blah blah. It doesn't seem to affect my martial skill. So Soma will, like with shaking hand, she lets go of her conjured lute. It clanks to the floor and shatters in a shower of sparks. And I guess she draws her magical striking +1 bow, which would be an action to draw it. And then I will just try to.
All right.
At,
And add,
Hmm?
let me hold on. Because it's a manipulate action,
Yes.
so that triggers an attack of opportunity.
That's not
So
good.
it lashes out with one of.
Yeah, no, I can't do anything against, to
that
stop
not
it.
correct?
So
Okay, so that's a hit, which causes 22 points of damage. And I'm gonna move.
Ottardo will use the reaction to grant you resistance 8
Good.
and take a swing at the creature
Hmm.
and miss it.
Oh man.
Close though, very close, but still, that's a critical failure. So, okay, but you are already. Well, since no, hold on. Sorry, this is so many effects that this thing puts on you. So this is not stupefied. This is stun. On a crit fail, yeah, you become stunned 4. So
well, never mind then, guys.
you
GG. Have a nice fight there.
so you had 2 actions left in this turn, right?
Yeah.
That was just the first thing you did, drawing that bow. Okay, so that goes down by 2 then. Okay, and then it's the thing's turn, and for a moment there, it looks as if it's getting ready to scream once again. But what it actually does then is it's bringing all of its tentacles up, and then it's just flailing them around wildly, lashing out at all of you, in seemingly random order. So 1 against Soma, and that misses. And then 1 against Ottardo without the map, critically hitting.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
52
Oh my god.
damage.
Oh
and,
no.
and a will save.
Oh no.
And where are we? Here are we. Stunned 4 for critically failing that save. And then the last tentacle lash is 27 as a regular hit against Augrael. 18 points of
Alright.
damage. And the will save. Hold on, sorry. Scratch the stunned condition for Ottardo, because once you have attempted the save, not if you succeed, but once you've attempted, you are immune for 24 hours. So anyone, yeah. So that's
Okay, so Augrael too.
so Augrael too. Yes. Soma, you hadn't been stunned yet, correct? This was the first time you got
Yes.
stunned. Okay, so for the that still applies. Okay, so it still has an action left because that was 2 actions, and with its 3rd action, it is going to slither down here. Noticing that Lucca has it a little too easy to attack it from a distance, and then it's Lucca's turn.
Oh shit. So to be clear, just all of my allies are just standing around dumbly.
Pretty much.
More or less, yeah.
Um and this is just a condition, right? It's not it's not a magical effect.
Well, it's
Is the effect that caused it considered? Does it have the magical trait? Can I dispel it?
So
Or
let me see. So the stunned effect does have a magic trait, occult, and the other one also has a. Yep, they're both magic in nature.
so it could potentially be dispelled.
Yes.
Okay. Who to dispel first? Well, I guess Ottardo is the one who's about to die.
But
Yeah.
just to make sure, Ottardo has stupefied, which is not the action loss.
Oh, you're not stunned. Okay.
So it's only
So-
Souma that's stunned right now.
Yeah.
Augrael will be able to act. Okay, so then I will dispel magic on Souma because I don't really want to get any closer. But I do want my friends to be able to do things. So I'll target Souma and dispel. Which requires a counteract check, which I'll roll. 26.
The DC is in the afflictions. If it's a spell, use the caster's DC. Caster's DC doesn't really have one. So then it's. What is it then? Is it the
It
task?
says the GM can also calculate a DC based on the target effect's level.
Mm-hmm. Can the I can, but how? Where is it? The
I would
DC.
assume it's based on the creature's level.
Yeah, but the DC by level chart is where is it? Level-based DCs. Here we are. So that would be a DC 24. So you make it. It's a regular success. Counteract the target if its counteract rank is 3 or less. What's the counteract rank?
Good
I
question.
don't know.
I think that's the rank of the effect.
Yeah, but it doesn't have one. And I'm not 100% sure that we're doing this right with dispelling these abilities.
I think you can, if it's not a spell, I think you can go by the half creature level rule.
By the what?
Half of the creature's level, as if it was its highest spell slot available.
Otherwise, half its level and round up to determine its contract level. Okay. If an effect's level is unclear and it came from a creature, half and round up the creature's level. Gotcha, that's what you're saying. So that would be 4, which means it's not counteracted.
God. Um. So I need to critically succeed?
I think it
Yeah.
would have worked if it was a level 3 the spell.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, because you can heighten dispel.
Can you?
Well, if you make it your signature,
Well,
I don't see anything
yeah,
about heightening.
no, it depends on your class. Like you're a sorcerer, right?
Yeah.
You should have the option of selecting signature spells.
yeah, like bards. I mean,
Right, no, it's not a signature spell, but I mean, I don't the dispel magic description doesn't say anything about effects of heightening it.
But it makes sense. Like, this is a creature that is above your pay grade, and it should be hard.
Yeah, no,
And you have a chance. It's just that it's hard. And if it was
yeah.
it was a more level appropriate creature, you would have a pretty good chance. So makes sense.
So basically, dispel magic is bounded no matter. It seems like it's bounded no matter what your level is. It's only going to dispel lower level effects.
Which actually makes me think that we are doing it correctly because now it is appropriately hard to get rid of an effect from a spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend my hero. Can I spend my hero point to try and re-roll that?
Yeah, but
Just to clarify, it's in the text of counteracting. On a success, you counteract if the target, you counteract the target if its counteract level is no more than 1 level higher than your effect's counteract level. And your effect's counteract level is the level of the dispel spell.
Okay.
right. But he
Okay,
has
I
only
see.
a
So,
lightning.
the actual text. So what's been put on the screen is
It
it's already
takes into
calculated
account, yeah.
the level that I. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. I'll try to hero point that just in case I can get like a 16 on it or something or whatever is needed.
That is better, but it's not a critical success, so it's still rank 3 or less. So no.
Damn. Okay. Well, then in that case, Luca's just gonna step over here so we can get a better view.
Okay.
Anthony, it's off guard, right?
It is, yeah. It is now the second round of
This
the
is
impending
huge,
doom,
yeah.
so it is off guard.
Okay. And Augrael has all his actions now, so he's going to stride up to it. He's going to analyze weakness on it since it's off guard.
As you stride up to it, it uses its
Oh.
attack of opportunity.
You have to step. You gotta step, bro.
Step up, bro.
Yeah, I don't have
You want to?
actions.
Do you want to tumble?
Oh yeah, that's can I do that?
Isn't that still a
W-
thing?
Wait,
I'm not sure.
but to do what?
To avoid the attack of opportunity.
Ah,
I think it's
That's
I'm
still a
not
thing.
sure that's a thing.
I think I had saw an action for this. Let's in my chart sheet.
There's tumble through.
Yeah, that's for getting through a space. But is there something to avoid an attack of opportunity? Or what is it now? Opportune strike or what?
Reactive.
Reactive strike. Because this is important, so I think it's worth it to
Yeah.
reactive strike. So that's maybe it's under that rule, general rule. Reactive strike, creature with this. Make a mouse if you're type of. There's got to be a way to avoid that, right?
Maybe
I don't know
not.
if there is because
Yeah, maybe
so
not.
few creatures have reactive strike now.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it can't stun me, I guess, at least. Maybe. Might get knocked out though. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think there is a way. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's
So
it's only
let's see.
stepping this one. So
oh right, you could step twice. That's the thing. That's how you avoid it. You use
Oh, okay.
so you, yeah.
Can I do that instead? I won't analyze weakness. I'll just step twice.
Okay.
And then I will swing at it, and I'm gonna activate the blood seeker beak on my weapon.
Nice.
What is it called? Blood. Yeah.
Man, yeah. It's a hit.
dun, dun, dun.
All right.
Thanks to being off guard.
You should.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah,
Let's,
you also should
Look
have,
at that roll.
1, and 4. Oh my god.
Oh.
9 points of damage.
well, make it +1 because you should still have the inspire courage.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
At least.
And there's also I think there's one persistent bleed with the bloodseeker beak. I'm not sure if it. Let me just double check that. Those ones, that's brutal.
There's on a bunch of D6s too. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
So you deal an extra 1d4 precision damage, and you also deal 1d4 bleed. Did it get both of the 1d4s?
It only got the regular plus 1d4 precision damage. Why did it not get the bleed? Is it maybe immune? No, it's not. So it's
okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks. That is great. So now I can put that on it. Okay. All right, Ottardo. It's bleeding. You can kill it.
Well, so is Ottardo.
Yeah.
Well, first things first. He's going to try to patch himself up. well, that gets him sorta
Yep, but
still
that
on his
has the
legs.
manipulate trait. So it
Oh, you're
triggers the
right. You're right.
strike.
You're right. You're right.
So,
Wait, no, but before that, actually, he needs to attempt. Okay, so he succeeded at the stupefied
mhm,
uh,
got it.
check.
So he
Okay,
manages to cast it, but then takes strike from the tentacle for 20 points of damage.
damn.
But you are now immune to the stun condition, so we don't need to roll that.
Okay, and well, I think he has to shield block that, and he is back to being on the brink.
Yeah, that almost. I thought you shield blocked that because now you took the whole damage.
Uh, oh, that's strange. I did click that. Let me roll that back.
Did it break your shield?
Block. Oh, oh, it says Ottardo has not raised their shield. Okay, okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. He can't. Yeah, he'll just take the damage because he has
Yeah.
not raised his shield yet.
So
Yeah.
it's a net loss with that healing.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
technically, you take the damage first. So does that knock you out before you can heal yourself?
uh, you take. Well, let me just. Uh, Reactive strikes happens before.
It interrupts the action. So I would say that it.
Isn't there something about it only interrupts in a certain?
Okay, let's to the book because
Ah, the
that's
book.
definitely important here. You lash out, make a melee strike. If your attack is a critical hit, then the trigger. This is it. Okay, so the question is when do they? So it's not the formal disrupt in that sense.
Use.
But what I mean is like, what is the order of events? So
Ah,
let's. Do you have it?
I'm not sure.
I think. I mean, it seems like the wording of it. If your attack is a critical hit and the trigger was a manipulate action, you disrupt that action. That would seem to imply that if it's not a critical hit, the action still goes off.
Yeah, but the thing is, it does it go off after you take the damage or before? And I think Simon is right. Maybe it does happen just before.
Reactions and encounters. That I think we need to go to the general message board. Reaction order of events. No. We know that when you gain your reactions, the question is when are they applied? Oh wow, long-standing unanswered debate, really? Reactions trigger during the action and use the simultaneous action rule during an encounter. Blah 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 blah. Reactions have triggers, allowing you to take them whenever they come up. The ready base as you prepare, use a single life. Reactions have triggers like this. Okay, I can't find a straight answer right away, so I'm going to say that the damage from the attack from the reactive strike is applied before your healing applies because the act of taking that action is what triggers the strike, and then it doesn't complete uh, before you go down.
Okay, well, Ottardo is down.
Uh,
Odardo goes down, dying one. Oma.
okay. Uh, I have one action left, and if apparently my bow is not drawn because it's interrupted, right?
No, you were
No?
able to finish that
Uh,
action. It's not.
Okay, never
The
mind.
difference is just
Yeah.
it's not a formal
Yeah, he got
disrupt, so it
knocked
doesn't.
unconscious.
It didn't knock you unconscious, so
Mhm.
you were able to complete your action.
Okay.
If Ottardo had had more hit points, he would have been able to complete his heal, but
Yeah.
since he got knocked out, it didn't complete.
Well, never mind. It's we have a critical situation, and I have one action, and luckily, battle medicine takes only one action. So, uh, Soma takes her bow into her teeth, like mumbling, "Oh, God damn it, why you got to do this again on me?" And start rapidly administering wound treating on Sir Ottardo. Let's go. There we go.
Nice.
Very nice, very timely.
Yes, and that's it for this turn.
Okay, and then it's the creature's turn. Okay. What do we do? So Ottardo is down for all intents and purposes. It doesn't know that. I mean, it sees maybe Soma like trying to attend to him, but for its as far as it's concerned, it's Ottardo's down. So it's gonna unleash another storm of tentacles, attacking Augrael first, striking you for 25 points of damage. And then
Okay.
we don't need to do all that will save anymore. And then it also lashes out at Soma
Wait, what?
with another regular hit for when
It can hit Soma from there?
it has 20 feet reach with those tentacles.
What?
Jesus. What?
Yes, Lucca was just 25 feet away the whole time. That's um. So that was two actions, and then with its third action, I think what it's gonna do is it's gonna slither away again. Um, but I'm gonna say it's not so smart to really like make best use of the terrain, so you're just one step away from it. Okay, Lucca.
It's like, this is definitely a pull back and regroup type situation. And he is. Let's see. Nobody's stunned right now, right?
Thankfully, I think
Correct.
So he's just gonna try to give it something else to focus on for the moment. He's going to summon a creature. Um, hopefully something that will last more than one hit against it.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. I can summon up to a third level uh, being. I think I was gonna have a. There's really nothing that's particularly effective against this thing that I can find. So he's gonna summon a classic Hellhound.
Okay. Classic Hellhound, you say? Here it is.
I'm gonna stick it right in this guy's face. I can't move it, but
Not yet, but in a second.
yeah.
Here you go. Try again.
And I think I can. How far away can I summon it? Up to 30 feet. So let me. I want to put it like. Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah. Okay, it's got to be right there. That sucks. But I spend all three actions doing that, and then it gets two actions right away. This is also now round 3 of my impending doom. So technically, It's frightened 1, but I think it's already frightened more than that, so that won't matter.
And it's
Should still be. I think it's still off guard. Yeah, there's effects I think are supposed to be stacking
okay.
or cumulative. If it moves forward, well, I'll have it step forward, I guess, so it doesn't. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have it not step forward.
So it triggers the attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it'll
That's-
trigger.
That's a good idea. And I don't think it would have a reason to step anyway, really. Gets critically
And it
hit.
gets critically hit right off the bat.
54 points of damage,
and it's destroyed.
but it did
It served
serve its purpose
yeah.
potentially.
Everyone get out of there! Alright, that's Lucca's turn.
Okay, Augrael.
Okay. You wanna run?
I don't think we stand a chance against this thing right now.
Yeah, I think we spend enough time with
Half of the action economy is being spent just keeping from dying.
Yeah. I think we will have much better time when we have 3rd level spells on us.
All right. Augrael will back away then and get out into the hallway.
Wait, some ochre jelly. That seems much more feasible.
Yeah, I think he'll just hang out in the hallway, I guess.
Okay. Ottardo.
Well, Ottardo's a bit concerned. Okay, he's far away enough. Well, he's gonna pick up his hammer.
You
stand
also
up,
saw
try-
it lacked out at the Hellhound, so you know that it spent its attack of opportunity.
So he'll pick up his hammer, stand up, and then walk away.
All right. Souma.
Well, I think I'll send one final present to it, because since I still have a bow, so might as well. And one last round of Inspire Courage lasts. So she will shoot it and then skedaddle. What do you mean I don't have ammunition remaining? Of course I have any. No, it counts Viper Arrow. Yes, Viper Arrow is gone. What do you mean? I mean, I set normal arrows. Just.
Oh, it's because last time you shot a Viper.
Yeah, but I mean, I've set it to normal arrows now. Yeah, there we go. And it's missed.
That's a.
Well, time to run.
All right, and you run.
Or more specifically, I suppose I should step backwards and close the door.
Okay. No, I'll say that you can close both wings of that door. All right. So through the shut door, I would imagine like you throw it shut and you kind of like stumble backwards, wide-eyed, staring at the door and what horror lies beyond, and you hear the muffled, soul-shaking scream through the door. It doesn't affect you mechanically, but it still, I would think, affects you. In some way, and it does still bleed. So let's see how that's going for it.
It just bleeds to death.
I mean, technically it might happen. So, all right.
Got it pretty good. Maybe it doesn't have band-aids in there.
That might take some time, I guess.
Oh, and it does technically take the impending doom damage too, because at the end of the 3rd round.
Okay. So
Not that it's a lot. It's only half of the damage from him.
Augrael's like looking under the door. It's still bleeding.
We got it. We did it, guys.
how much
Um,
damage is that from the bending doom?
It is. I don't think I rolled it, but it should be 6d6 mental damage. So
Okay, let's roll that.
I'll roll it.
And then what happens on a persistent damage crit fail?
Oh, that was a good roll. So it's half of that though.
All right, half of this.
We're killing it. We're doing it. Open the doors. I'll impending doom it again.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume that you're moving probably on, but I just want to get through the bleed here. Wow, it is really lucking out on the D4. Crit failing again. This might take some time, but
I want to see it, man.
Yeah. Does our stupefied value lowers at any point?
Nope.
This is amazing.
At some point, I'll be like, Souma, open the door, crack, see what's going on.
So now, okay, let's double the damage from before. Okay, there it is. Yeah, it's still there. No, I mean, I would think that you didn't even like. I don't think you were stopped to wait for it to bleed behind those doors. I would think that you probably would have hightailed it out of there. All right. Yeah, like I said, you still hear its soul crushing scream echo through the hallways, mixed in with the sound from Shadow Malice that is echoing from out of the cavern. Very metal, the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what other encounter do you want to avoid today?
All of them.
Do we have?
Should we go back and feed those jellies some meat and see what's in the room?
I don't think I'm in shape to handle anything right
Oh, you big baby.
I mean, well,
How badly hurt is everyone?
we are very hurt. Listen,
Augrael is barely standing. Both his arms are hanging on by like a ligament.
but then again, Lucca, consider that you said
3 points, hit points.
Yeah, you said it yourself. You don't have flesh, so maybe you can just walk there. And by the way, while we're doing this,
Yes, that's right. I don't have any meat. Maybe they'll ignore me.
well, exactly. And yeah, while we are at this, I think I will try to treat wounds on Augrael, or stitch his flesh. Oh wow. Well.
Okay, here. Let's give a big heal to Augrael since he looks like he needs it. Or a big harm, I should say. "41 points of healing."
Whoa.
And I've got these wands here, so could probably get Ottardo and Souma up to better shape as well. Augrael, why don't you go run down the hall 30 feet? Lucca will come over here and say, "Oh, gather round, everyone, gather round."
All right.
And he will use a 3-action wand of heal. Why is it saying it's just 1d8?
because that's the level 1.
What? No, but this is a level 2 wand.
Well, I suppose we need to edit it then.
Why did it not? Why does it think it's a level 1? It's a level 2 wand of heal. That's wrong. Got the correct price, I believe. Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, what is a level 2? What does it get when it's heightened? It's an extra D8.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah. Soma, meanwhile, will try to again soothe herself with.
so that was a total of a great big 9 points for the two of you. And then I've got a level 1 wand. Which should actually, be whatever I roll.
No,
Oops.
not him.
That was unintentional. I didn't need it anyway. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, 1 point more of healing to both Souma and Ottardo. It's all my wands.
Well, we can just go lock up in a room somewhere and take the time to recover
Fine.
for.
Fine, use your lay on hands. We'll go over. I don't know.
Well, there was a small room to the side just after the stairwell.
Oh yes, that seems safe. The one with the daises. Or were they plinths?
They're plinths.
So you're telling me I needn't have bothered with the wands? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you seemed in a rush to go visit the jellies.
Oh, I'd like to think that we'll get something useful done. Why is it a level 1 casting? I've got to be able to fix it somehow.
Is that hallway the only place on this level we haven't been yet?
Well,
Well,
as
we
far
haven't
as we
been.
can tell, yeah, maybe there are other corridors we haven't noticed yet.
We haven't crossed that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
In the outer area, and we haven't gone down that natural corridor, but there's those elementals down there.
Right. Okay.
There are a couple of rooms you haven't been in.
Okay.
I think there's also stairs that go up, and we don't. Oh no, I think we did figure out where they go. They go into like the trap room area.
Mm-hmm.
There's the back
yeah.
room of the stage. And there is an annoyingly unexplored doorway 1 level up from here.
Which one are you talking about?
If we go up the spiral stairs, there's a corridor that we've never gone down.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering where Jafaki is.
It is my suspicion that he lies beyond that thing, the Iracurse, or whatever it was called. The elf monstrosity.
Mm-hmm.
Does the stupefied go away after a while, Simon?
No.
Oh,
Quaint.
okay. Well, that's going to be a little problematic. Okay, well, for the first 10 minutes, Ottardo is going to attempt to heal himself. I guess he succeeds for 18 hit points. And then after another 10 minutes, he can't cast a spell.
Fizzles.
And then,
Yes, I suppose I should be refocusing during this time as well.
And Matt, I think you need to get rid of the Bloodseeker beak because if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
Yep.
they are consumables. Oh, yeah.
That's a good call.
Let me get my focus point.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so
Mm.
after.
Were there two beaks or was it just one? Didn't we find two?
There are two
Or was that-
beaks.
Okay, so I have one left. I used one of them.
Wow. So, dispel magic really sort of loses its potency, doesn't it? Second level casting, I suppose it's a good thing to note.
You need to have it scaled to the level of the thing you want to dispel.
Thank you, Ottardo, for explaining to me how magic works.
Well,
He does LSAT prep for kids in his off time.
and for the last 10 minutes of the hour, Ottardo will cast Lay on Hands on Soma.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. And that tops me off really well. All right.
Just before we go, it'll take just 1 minute. Uh, how would I use this? Seems like they don't have. Oh, probably because yeah, it has a variable DC. Ottardo will also pull out his little repair kit and start banging on his shield.
And it only takes a minute for you?
Yep, because he has the quick something quick repair,
Mm-hmm.
quick repair feat. And let me just double check the DC table. Maybe you have the DC table open, Simon, for
Yep.
level
What?
4.
Oh.
It should be on your char sheet somewhere at the bottom of your abilities.
Level-based TC,
Yeah.
level 4 is 19.
Okay, so he gets a success, which means he restores. Enough hit points, I believe. With the crafter's eyepiece. Yep. All right. Good as new.
Uh, hmm.
Your shield has 96 hit points?
Yep. That's it. At base, it is a sturdy shield, so it's sturdy, and Ottardo channels uh, a shield ally in it, which grants it an extra 50% hit points.
Extra
Hey,
50%. Nice.
hey, anybody want to carry around some caltrops?
Hmm.
They're rather heavy.
Sure, I can carry it for you.
Yes. Take 2 bags of caltrop. I'm just realizing I'm over encumbered is all.
I'll say that the ongoing stupefied condition, how it manifests is that basically all around you, all the time, you see like the most ruinous outcome of everything. So if Lucca hands you the caltrops, you briefly see like them sticking through your hand and through your feet. Um, and yeah, it's constant, and that just takes up so much of your mental bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
How do I I can't give these to you. I have to put them in the stupid group
Yes,
thing.
Just hand them to me.
Just like in any video game, you can never hand someone something. It's always out of
Move it into the group inventory.
drop it on the ground and let them pick it up.
There you go.
I can't
Like,
can't
put
even
out your hand
drop
and
it
like,
on the ground.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move these into the inventory. Take these 2 sets of caltrops. Oh, I'm still 1 bulk over. Damn it all. How am I going to lose a
Right.
whole bulk of items?
Well,
so are we trying to go back towards that room? Or which? I wonder if there's a way we can avoid it.
Well, we can. Well, Lucca's interested in the jellies. Maybe we can go check that, and who knows? Maybe there's a secret door in there somewhere.
Perhaps we will find some useful trinket or something in there, some information about this Jafaki or the thing. It seemed like we were getting into the laboratory area, so
Mm-hmm.
who knows what we'll come across.
Okay.
Anybody want to carry some rations on them?
Fine. Well,
Yes, I'll carry your stuff.
Lucca's turning into the mom of the group. Like, everybody got
Well, keep
His purse is full.
the rations. We can feed them to the jellies.
Oh, good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. That's a whole 2 light I can remove. Yes. Right, okay. Yes, we'll throw some rations at them. Oh, no, sorry. Door shut.
And do you bring one of the dead bodies in from this room?
Yeah,
with
let's
you?
drag one of those dead bodies and give them something to really, really chew on. Or not chew, dissolve.
Gel on.
Give it to gel on.
Get its gel on.
Jelly it up. Okay. So the bigger one of the 2, or both, or what's the? deal?
Well, I'm not
Probably just
carrying
the
it.
bigger one, and
Yeah, well, I think we can start with the small one.
I didn't realize the Whispering Reeds was such a large book.
well,
Part of the problem.
It's a lot. It's a heavy load to carry that.
it's
All right.
difficult
So
knowledge.
you toss that body in there.
And Lucca
Yeah.
just throws 4 days worth of rations into the room.
Dumps it all in there. And after, is there any particular spot you wanted to throw it in, or is it fine to just toss it
So
in the
somewhere in
middle?
the middle.
Okay. So soon after, those 2 things emerge, and then one of them just kind of like, it looks as if they're like pushing against each other for a little while until one of them completely like envelops that body, and the body like kind of starts to be suspended inside, and then it slithers away into a corner and just kind of becomes sort of motionless, and you can see like little bubbles appear around the body as it's slowly being dissolved, and you can't help but feel like the other thing looks a little disappointed, and it has gobbled up those rations, but they are kind of like just nibbles compared to the big body.
Ottardo, go fetch another body.
All right, but I think I need help with that.
I'll help.
yeah, Augrael go with them and drag it in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm also. We're gonna leave Lucca alone there with his new friends.
Yeah. Okay, so as you leave, the jelly kind of slithers slowly towards Lucca.
Lucca's like, I'm only bones, so
Yeah.
there's probably
Like,
nothing tasty here.
it like reaches out with its pseudopod and like feels over your your cloak, and it sizzles as it dissolves some of the fabric. But it seems to be uninterested in taking this any further. And
Right.
finally, your friends arrive, and they, under much heaving and groaning, they like toss that Sugathi body or what's left of it into the room, and quickly that jelly swarms all over it and starts breaking it apart. And it very slowly then like slithers to the back of the room and kind of like hunkers down. It's just this pile of jelly on top of the dead body that starts to dissolve. All right. Nice work. Let me see what that means in terms of XP. That's 60 XP for each of
Oh,
you.
it counts.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, you overcame the encounter. You didn't just run away. You actually overcame it. So that's XP worthy.
But
Right.
while I'm sorry, while Lucca will search the room, I think Soma will try to remember her powers for again and spend 1 minute casting restoration on herself to see if she can lessen her stupefied condition.
Oh, nice. Okay, so how does that work? Do you need to roll or anything?
I'm not sure. I think it's just one. It takes
Or
1 minute.
you cast a restoration. Choose to either reduce a condition or lessen the effect of a toxin. A creature can benefit from only one. Reduce a condition. Reduce the value of the target's clumsy, enfeebled, or stupefied. Yep, no roll needed. So, yep, goes down by 2.
Oh, yeah, and relieved with her mind finally like becoming a bit clearer, she will rush towards Ottardo, saying, "Sir Ottardo, check out what I found," and will cast the restoration on him as well.
All right. That takes a couple of minutes while Lucca is pinging the room. Let's see. You don't sense any magic, disappointingly.
Then I'll go for the more mundane method of just searching around.
Oh, wait,
All right.
Yeah, Augrael's picking through stuff while he's searching for the magic.
Okay. Well, there is a bunch of detritus. There is a steel shield, a dagger, a pick, a chain shirt, some caltrops, a professional-looking fishing tackle, a spyglass, 10 feet of chain,
There's
that
got
are
more caltrops.
serviceable, and a baton, like a bunch of detritus, like I said, but also a large 4-pronged key with an elaborate design.
We saw a place for that, right? In that one
Yep.
room. the
Two
playground?
places.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
well, I
Yeah.
think they lead to the same
Maybe.
thing.
Yeah.
Look, fishing tackle.
We're not carrying any more stuff.
No, this has actually got some value to it.
It's professional.
I can tell.
It's professional quality.
You carry it then.
I can't.
This fishing rod is too heavy.
Well, it's all of the tackle, you see. There's lures and little buoys, and there's even some lead weights in here. I mean, lead weights.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Yeah.
So, Souma, you carry it.
Fine.
And also take the spyglass.
I was just about to.
Good. I'm glad you're following my orders.
It's an instinct.
Those are the most popular leaders that tell people what they were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If I
yeah.
just call it out slightly before you do it, then it was my idea.
And I think I will grab the key as well.
Oh, and look, Augrael, more caltrops.
I don't think I've ever used caltrops in my life, but I have 2 whole bags. We're good.
Well, how have you ever had caltrops before? Perhaps that's why you didn't use them. There's also
Maybe.
there's also 10 feet of chain, which is worth 12 gold pieces, but is 3 bulk.
It's actually 3 sets of 10
Oh,
feet of chain.
that makes sense. There are 3 sets of 10-foot chain for 12 gold pieces. Well, it is a shame to leave such a wealth on the floor. But
Yeah.
Augrael scoops up the chains before Lucca can get any ideas and just puts it inside the jelly.
I was thinking
inside the jelly.
Yeah. Oh, wearing it.
Well, I just need to ditch 8 more light objects and then I'm no longer comfort.
Doesn't compare to clumsy 1. Okay, yeah, that's no good.
It's all these damned wands.
Mm-hmm.
That's so many wands. I can't carry them all.
is there something like a wand quiver or something like that? I remember that there was one in 1E.
We use
Yeah.
bandoliers,
Many
yeah.
items. Yeah, but
There,
do
there
those
should
help with the weight?
there should be something at least like a haversack or something like that.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Right.
It's about time we
Right.
got
Maybe
one.
that's what I need to get, a handy haversack. Anyway,
Yeah, let's go try
I
this.
don't
key.
need this. I don't need this lantern anymore. He says he's going to throw away a lantern. Yeah, I'll follow you. Go forth with the key. He's just like discarding things as he walks down the hallway.
Just trailing various items.
Haven't used that in a while. Just throws it out.
Clunk, clunk. Yeah,
I mean, what
it's-
good is a ghoul effigy, really?
Well, I think it was a piece of meat that we could have thrown to those things.
Yes.
Do you remember where was the
That room, the room we were resting
Yeah,
in.
this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But didn't we find it on? What
Yes,
was the
also
other
on the
place we saw it?
on the opposite side over
Oh,
here
there.
as well.
Okay, okay. Yeah. It's going to be disappointing if it's just a passage between those 2 sides.
Something tells me there will be more than just a straight hallway.
Well,
I'm standing out here.
yeah, you do that, and Soma will like stand as far from the keyhole as she can reach with her fingers and turn the key, put the key in, and see what happens if she can turn it.
well, the doors don't have the keyholes. It's the plinths.
Ah.
There were on the other side. You know, when you were going all the way around,
Yeah,
there were keyholes in the wall. But
Okay.
here we have
Well, let's try the plinth then in the same manner.
right. The western one has the 4 holes in it, whereas the eastern one has a round keyhole. So you put in the key and you turn it. It turns nicely. And you hear a muffled grinding sound, but you don't see any. Like it's not like the wall opens up or anything. And the sound is coming from this direction.
Lucca, are you seeing anything?
No. He's still rifling through his bag. He's tossed a dagger on the ground at his feet.
So was there an actual door handle or anything on this side?
No, you can just see an outline of what must be a door, but no way to open it.
If like Ottardo will try to just give it a push.
Doesn't move, doesn't budge.
Hmm.
Pretty solid, actually.
I guess maybe we'll have to go all the way around.
Hmm.
Or maybe we need the second key.
Yeah, I mean, I
Which way did the noise come from again, Simon? Sorry.
From the
Third
south.
time? Okay.
Lucca, are you
Maybe
playing
I'll
with
go
your
on the other
bones?
side and look at see if anything changed.
Lucca's just disposing of splintered bits of bone and pulling them out of his bag. Been lugging these around. I should at least make use of them. There we go. Right. Other side. Well, the other side only needed one key, so maybe we ought to go that way instead.
All right, Augrael, you ran ahead here to check out the other side, and you see that this door here has opened.
Okay.
And if you check, there's a short hallway, and then there's another door that is closed.
Oh, son of a bitch.
It is just the hallway.
No, it can't be. Why would it
It is.
require such a... Lucas starts looking around very carefully. He's like, there must be a secret thingy-mabobber.
Well, both this and the other corridor that leads outside were both secret. So I guess it's just a secret passageway to the other side of the
Oh,
dungeon.
that's right.
Yes, but why? One could just as easily go out and around the other side.
Well, the other side was secret too, if I remember correctly.
mhm.
Yeah, but it didn't have all this fancy keys and
It
stuff.
didn't have keys, yeah.
Luca's insistent that there has to be a reason for this configuration. Well, Belcora was many things, but she wasn't redundant. How do I make a search? Where is this? A perception. There it is.
Um, you, I mean, you're like taking in or you're trying to basically like get your sense of the overall uh, geometry of things, and you're convinced that there must be there is some negative space here. There's something behind that door, like some secret compartment or something, but you can't find any secret latch or lever or anything like it.
Can I try inspire
Frustrating.
competence in him?
To try it again, you mean? Sure.
I suspect perhaps we need a second key for those plinths out there, and then perhaps we will find what some hidden latch will open or something. He's like feeling around on the walls. He's like, it wouldn't make sense for there just simply to be so much solid rock here.
Does any one of you, by any chance, have found a round key?
A round key?
Well, the other
A
plinth,
tarnished silver key.
yeah, other plinth has a round keyhole. So
Yeah, but the tarnished silver key does not look like it would fit that hole.
yeah, I have the Arodon key and I have the copper key, but I don't think
None of them.
we already used the copper key somewhere.
Yeah, none of them seem to fit.
And the librarian's key is from completely other place altogether.
Also, doesn't seem to fit.
Well, then let us keep our eyes open for another key.
Wait, did we go down? Did we go down this door?
Yes, that's how we. Yes, we went in there.
Yeah, it
What
leads
was
to
in
the
there
big arena with the huge monster.
Ah.
Well, I suppose the only thing left to do is go up a level and explore the hallway that we keep skipping.
But I'll
W-
point out that there was also a set of double doors that was locked that you ignored.
There was a set of double doors.
Oh,
At the
in the
bottom of
hallway?
that. Oh, okay. Well,
Wait,
we
where?
Let's do that.
All the way in the southeastern corner, there was a
Ooh.
double
well,
door that Soma tried to unlock with her thieves' tools and realized like that's way beyond her capabilities.
Well, perhaps we have the right key now? Is that a possibility?
before we head there,
Possible, ain't it?
since we're already here, we could try going across the
Oh,
bridge.
yes. Yes, the bridge.
Yeah, I'll follow.
That's where I was going and leading you all.
Of course.
Okay, so you get around this way to the southern end of this cavern, and this part is entirely flooded. The walkway up here is encased in transparent stone. It's about 10 feet above the water's surface here, and the water looks really deep. It's like almost pitch black. That's how deep it goes. Um, and it's just like the occasional drip coming from the ceiling disturbs the water. Otherwise, it's standing still, and it's just completely dark. Hold on. Yes, so there is an overhang above this deep pool that is pierced by a well capped by a sturdy iron grate. So you can see that. Um, you know how I mean? Like they're somewhere around here probably. There's a hole in the ceiling which is pretty wide, so it's the
Mhm.
a well that goes up, but you can see the grate that's bolted in there. Um, but it looks like some of the bolts have been broken from underneath, so you might be able to pull it out with a little bit of effort. But of course, you would have to find a way to get there first.
We've discovered wells on higher levels. I wonder if this leads up to one of them.
Well, should we try those double doors first?
Hold on. I'm going to look around here very carefully because I'm suspicious of every dead end that we encounter.
But you can see here on the map, it just leads to that arena.
What map?
Hang on, I think I
Oh, it's just in my head, I guess.
on here. I think I am.
We only have maps of the upper levels.
I don't think I read that map correctly. Hang on a second. Ah, okay, okay. Now I get it. Okay. So you see this is the overhang here. And remember that metal grate that you saw in the room where
Yes,
you
yes.
fought the creature with the sonic like this that's the grate that now you can
Got
see
it.
it like
Got
from
it.
below. So yeah. Okay. All right.
Right.
Sorry, Lucca,
Drainage.
you were trying to perceive anything. Yeah, well, no, other than that, that seems to be the only feature of interest.
Okay. Well, this was useless, but of course, what else would you expect from Ottardo's ideas?
Okay, so you move back around. And yeah, so there you are. This is the overhang once again with that bolted well.
Okay. Lucca will adjust the controls on the wall to make the stone ethereal, I guess,
Okay. So you can pass through.
or intangible, or whatever it was. Yeah.
Ethereal, yeah. And I'm just gonna move you through that wall because that's too much work to make those actually
Yeah,
ethereal.
Augrael does a running swan dive off of the platform there.
There you go.
Which double doors are these?
Oh, these ones. Augrael sprints.
Oh, all the way down
He
there.
has that tarnished silver key that we got off. I think it's off of that creature, like right in that room. So maybe it is for this door. He's gonna see if that fits.
It fits.
He like looks back at the party, like, should I open it?
Wait. No, open it.
Okay. He... Oh, I didn't see you posted something. I thought you were just saying that for a fact. All right. He'll try and open the door.
You unlock it and then open it.
Yeah.
All right, open it up. You reveal a room that is filled with books. There are glass bottles emitting smoke and clumps of slime filling shelves that cover the high walls. The southern area displays the dissected remains of several creatures pinned to a wall, kind of like, rare and unusual specimens, like a insect collection sometimes looks like. The head of a Morlock, somehow kept alive through some mechanical means with tubes and wires connecting to its body, screams a constant, very hoarse note. Just ah, ah. The room is pretty high. It's 25 feet high, and the shelves go all the way up to the ceiling, so it's really just cramped with this kind of stuff. On the raised area here to the south, there is a creature, another Sugathi, but it looks almost ridiculous. It's wearing two bandoliers filled with what must be alchemical concoctions, and you can see a rapier in one of its tail appendages, and it's busily at work on some of those pinned specimen. Right next to the door, however, there is another creature, and as you open the door, it turns to look at you like in surprise, quite taken aback by somebody just kind of all of a sudden opening those doors since they were locked or supposed to be locked. And you like catch the movement out of the corner of your eye, and you look over there, and you see like spider legs, and then you look up, and you look into this horrific face of a creature that looks very much like the bouncer in the tavern, but it's not the same one. You can tell that. Yeah, the creature to the south is also quite surprised by your arrival, but hard to tell with its alien physiology what exactly, how exactly it feels about it. But it just in sackfroth, it actually doesn't need to do that. It just kind of focuses its alien eyes on the spider-like creature that looks out to first at you by surprise, then looks to the creature to the south, and then just nods and readies its glaive. And here we go.
This Jafaki.
Could it be?
Well, what I do know that we made a mistake.
What mistake?
Let's see.
This feels more level appropriate.
Okay. And we're gonna actually start with Jafaki.
Oh, both
Oh.
enemies.
All right. Okay. So it's good. You caught him a little bit by surprise here, which means that he didn't have time to prepare. So, what is he gonna, or what are they gonna do first? Okay, Jafaki takes out the rapier, action 1, dribbles venom on it, action 2, and then tosses. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. Oh, its third action is. How many actions would that be? Okay. Sorry. I think it's just gonna, or they're just gonna move out of the direct line of fire here into the corner over there. And that's its turn. And then the spider thing steps around. That's 1 step. And has all of you within reach. So now let's see which one it's going to attack first. I'm going to say 1 is Ottardo and 2 is Augrael. There you go, Ottardo. It swings its glaive. Strikes for 14 points of damage. And shoots a web from its abdomen at Lucca in the back.
What?
Hitting. So you are now immobilized as the web just kind of like bursts as it hits you, and it locks you in place, stuck to the walls and the floor. And that was its turn, and then it's Lucca.
Lucca's gonna call out in sackfroth, Jafaki, I presume? And see if that gets a reaction from it.
Yeah, in Sackfroth. Well, it looks at you, and you hear that voice in your head as it telepathically calls out and says, "So it knows my name. That taints the specimen. Nonetheless, will still be interesting to dissect this one."
I think we got him. It's like,
Hold on a second.
what the? That was some very intense music.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, percent like yeah.
Sorry. Okay. There we go.
Alright, so Lucca's gonna embrace the pit. And as he does so, he's going to call out, looks like all of you have entered the bone zone. He's going to cast rouse skeletons and catch them both in a 10-foot burst.
my god.
Oh boy.
Augrael backs away from the fight. I don't want to be a part of it anymore.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yes.
both fail. So what happens?
They're gonna take some slashing damage.
Okay.
And that area is difficult terrain.
Okay. So they both take some damage. Nice. Soma.
Okay, I'm still.
Soma, you shouldn't be stupefied anymore.
I was stupefied 3, so I only reduced it by 2. So unfortunately, I am still stupefied, so I will have to do the check. But thankfully, it is DC 6, so it's beautiful. So I'm glad it will be easy check to make. And yeah, okay, let's go with inside defense for everyone. I learned my lesson. I will not prolong it with lingering in case if I have to scream at someone to obliterate their magic. Uh, and I guess I will take a swing at this one with telekinetic projectile with a piercing one, I think. She will take one of the marble balls and shoot at the Drider. Oh, wait, one more time. Flat check. Never mind, she doesn't do that.
Okay. And then it's Ottardo, I believe.
Ottardo will raise his shield, step up to the spider creature, and try to strike it.
Okay. You strike. And you do 17 points of damage. All right, it's injured. That's
And
your turn?
his turn. Yep.
Okay, Augrael.
All right. Augrael, can he do a knowledge check on this the
Spidey
spider
man.
thing? What is it called? Yeah.
Sure. That would be an occultism or an aberration
All right.
lore thing.
Okay. Occultism will be good, hopefully for me.
Oh wow. Okay, so I guess you've seen enough flesh warping at this point to know that this must also be the result of some flesh warping of hapless victims. Um, this is, and like the body is vaguely elf-like, but pretty like bluish dark in complexion. So this must be a drow that has been fused with a giant spider. Um, Yeah, and despite the fact that it's wielding weapons or martial-looking weapons, um, you get the sense that this must also be able to wield arcane power as well. And you actually rolled pretty high, so I'll let you ask 2 questions.
Any particular weaknesses?
No.
Okay. How about immunities?
Sleep.
Okay. Don't try and sing it a lullaby. It won't work. And he'll step up and swing at it. So it was a success, right? So it's off guard to me.
Yes, it was a success for sure.
All right.
Let me make it off guard, which triggers your automation. There you go. Oh, and thanks to being off guard.
All right.
Hit. Okay, roll that damage.
All right.
And a
Man.
number of damage points go through. That's your turn?
Yep.
Okay, and it's Jafaki's turn. Jafaki will cast a spell. Where is it? Here we go. And starts levitating up to the ceiling. So it's about 20 feet up at this point. And if I levitate the target 5 feet, you can move the target up to with a single action. So yeah, that took that action then to move it to 15, I guess, because each 10 feet would cost an action, and it only has one action left. That was its turn, and then it's the spider thing's turn, and it's gonna scramble away from the two of you.
Through
the
difficult terrain.
terrain. So that's 2 steps. 4 steps, or I should say 10 is 20 feet of movement. 30 feet of movement, and now that it's all the way on here, it's like half of its legs are already up the wall. And then it casts a spell. Fireball.
Oof.
Oh no.
We'll put that right here. And then I'm gonna need those saves.
I'll make hero point that.
Reflex. Oh shit! I forgot. Oh dear, that was bad.
That is bad. Is it crit bad? No, it's not crit bad. So Soma succeeds, Augrael fails, Ottardo fails, Lucca succeeds.
Even with
Okay.
a hero point, it's brutal.
Here's the damage. You know what to do. It's basic save. And then it's Lucca's turn.
Good thing I have resistance to fire damage. Gonna automate that? Yes, it did. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, Lucca's still stuck to the wall. He's like, ugh, he's just got like one little hand free, and he's just wiggling the skeletal arms over a bit to the left or the right. I guess it's the right for me. Here we go. Try to get it all the way up there. Create some openings, hopefully. And it will have to make a save again. DC 22.
That's another reflex.
Can Ottardo do a tiny retcon here? He would have used his reaction to grant Augrael resistance 8 to the fireball damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, nice. It's Tardo.
Regular failure, what's the damage?
Hang on. Let me roll damage again. Just 8 points.
Every little bit counts.
And yeah, do I have the range for one of these? Actually, you know what? I don't know how effective this is going to be, but we'll try it again. I'm going to try to dispel the levitate on that guy.
Huh. Okay.
It's against an actual spell now, so it should hopefully be easier to figure out.
Okay, so roll that counteract. Or show that counteract, I guess. So that is 22 is against the caster's DC, which is 26, so no dice.
Well, so it is a counteract if the counteract rank is less than 2. I don't know what the
Right.
counteract rank is.
That would be the spell level here, which it is a level 3 spell, or rank 3 spell, so
Okay, damn it.
didn't work. Soma.
Yes, she will continue to struggle against her stupefying her at the moment, I suppose. So let's see, we check, yes, for continuing inspired defense. And almost everyone is now out of her reach. Yeah. So I suppose, can I take a step and try to help Lucca to get out of the out of the web?
Don't bother, it's never happening. This is where I live now.
Well, if you insist, then I will just cast shield on myself, and that would be it for this turn. At least now I can see everyone.
Ottardo will raise his shield. He will stride over to the spidey creature and try to strike it.
Okay.
And
Did not have an attack of opportunity. 23 is a miss. Okay. Augrael.
All right. Augrael's gonna stride. Can I stand in this corner here?
Yes.
He'll stride. He's going to analyze weakness on this thing since he did a successful.
So that makes it
No.
off guard again for you?
It's off guard because of the original check, but this gives me extra precision damage.
Okay, I'm just putting that
Um,
condition on for your
Oh yeah, thank you.
automation.
Oh, brutal.
That's a miss. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Jafaki. Jafaki. Cast the spell. And Lucca, you still hear its voice in your head. And it says something to the effect of, "Let's watch how your friend rips you apart." And then it targets Soma with a confusion spell.
That's not
Roll.
good at all.
Wait, is that within range, or does it have to move? Nope, that's perfect. So roll that will save, please.
I think I
You
will
failed,
hero point
please.
that one. I still have my hero point. I will hero point this one.
All right, let's see it.
Reroll using hero point.
Well, you didn't fail as hard, but you still failed, and you are confused. Don't forget you can do a new save at the end of each of your turns when we get there. So that was 2 actions, and then with its third action, does levitate allow hovering sideways? Table.
There's no reason why it can't do that.
Up or down. Floating in the air from levitate takes a floating creature can spend an interaction to stabilize, negate the situation, and move across the surface by climbing. Okay, so it's basically pulling itself along the wall here to get over here as its third action. And then it's the Drider's turn. It's gonna crawl up the wall. So now it is also about. Well, it's gonna move down here and up. So now it is about 15 feet high. That was one action. And it then uses an acid arrow spell targeted at Ottardo. Let's see, it's a 19, so that misses. And Lucca.
I believe, according to the wording of Raoul's skeletons, I can actually slide it up the wall, because it just says it has to emerge from a solid surface.
Yep.
So I will continue to send the claws up the wall, and chase this guy.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'll make another save, which is a failure.
Nice.
So that will be. I'm just gonna roll it by hand. Just another 5 points.
Oh,
And he's still in the difficult terrain. I'm gonna center it on him.
that's a move action to sustain the spell, basically.
That's one action to sustain the spell.
Yep. Okay.
I can see Suma's being affected by magic. None of my dispel magic has been particularly effective. I don't know. Nobody's even going after him, and he's up in the air. He's gonna have to hope that Suma comes to her senses on her own, and he's going to just try to blast at this guy with some ignition.
Okay. About 30 feet.
Oh, is it beyond my range?
Just beyond your range, because it's also up. Correct distance is just 30 foot. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's fine. Doors
It
are tall
doesn't. It
enough.
doesn't use range increments, does it? I don't know how.
No, it's just total. It's a range of 30 feet for the spell.
Okay.
So. But
So I
Jafaki is
couldn't.
within range for you.
So I couldn't target it.
Not the Drider, but Jafaki is within range.
Oh yeah, I was targeting Jafaki.
Oh, sorry, I did not catch that. Yes, Jafaki is within range, so let's attack.
All right, so that's going to be 16 points of fire.
That works. And then it's Soma's turn.
So I'm confused. So what am I doing?
So that's a good question. Use all your actions to strike or cast offensive cantrips. Can you have use other actions such as your targets are determined randomly by the DM? Okay, so, I mean,
Well,
randomly.
yeah, Soma has been casting offensive cantrips all the time, so I suppose that's what she will do.
Well, I gotta choose a target for you first.
Yeah.
Who do you see? So you have Ottardo. Say Augrael is like hardly visible. So we have Lucca, Ottardo, Drider, and Jafaki. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.
3 or 4. 3 or 4.
Oops, sorry. There's the Drider.
Nice.
Okay. So, in that case, we'll go again for the flat check. Oh wow, she succeeds. And it would be the telekinetic projectile.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's fine.
And which misses.
Miss. Okay, third action.
Well, I can't cast anything, so I suppose I should
Punch Lucca.
punch Lucca, yeah. I mean, he's
Punch yourself instead. You're a viable target.
he's one within melee range, and
Oh, right. You need to use your actions to attack. You're right. So I'm going to do another. You're the only one in melee range? Okay, yeah.
and
Attack.
yeah, that counts as a multiple attack penalty. So, yeah.
That's a miss.
I knew she could never bring herself to hurt me.
Ottardo.
I think Soma has a save now.
Yes.
Correct.
And because that's going to change how Ottardo acts.
Just roll your will. I'll find it to see if it's necessary. Cards?
Yeah.
There you go. That's a fail.
Okay.
Ottardo.
Okay. In that case, Ottardo is going to walk over here. That's 5, 10, 15, 20. Collapse with a wall? Okay, I see. Yeah, so he's going to go there, and then using his hammer, he is going to attempt to shove Soma away from Lucca.
Oh, and into the room. All right.
So let's see how that works. I don't know if it will target that correctly.
That's a critical says you push your target up to 10 feet, and you can stride after it.
Did it correctly take Soma's? Oh yeah, I guess Fortitude
Well,
DC
it
20.
seems
No,
to be automatic,
right?
so yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Soma is 10 feet into the room, and Ottardo will go in the same direction.
All right. That was 2 actions. And
So moving was one action. The shove is just one action, and I guess he will raise his shield for his final action.
okay, Augrael.
Is there a swap action now in Pathfinder? Like if I
Yep.
Okay. So I can put away the poor bastard and take out the +1 chakra. And I'm gonna fling it at this thing.
All right.
Come chakram. switching it here. Okay.
And yeah, it's a weirdly
Yeah.
shaped weapon. You're unfamiliar with it, and it just kind of like clangs against the wall.
Um,
Third action.
third action, he is going to take out the moderate glue bomb that we have.
Just a question. That roll seems wrong. It's only a +2, and I think the chakrams. I checked. The chakrams are a martial weapon.
A 5 would not have missed anyway. So, would not have hit anyway. So let's not.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll look at it. But yeah, it does seem weird. Yeah. So the last action, I'll take out a glue. No, because that it's walking, it's not flying, and the other thing is levitating, it's not using wings. Actually, he's not gonna take out the glue bomb. He'll shield for his last action.
Okay. And Javaki's turn comes up. And let's see. You all hear their voice in your head as it telepathically reaches out, but only those that speak Sackfroth can hear it say, "I think I've seen enough. Let's end this." And then it starts casting a spell, and we'll get there next time.
Oh boy. Fun one. I'm glad we got to Jafaki.
Yeah. I was like, as you were going through your options of, we've seen everything on this level, and I was like, you can't just straight up tell them, no, there was this door you did, but because it's always weird, because your characters obviously would know that there is a very interesting looking double door that's locked that you just kind of skipped, and for your characters
The
that
thing
was
is,
an hour ago.
when it's not when it's not in line of sight, you don't see the door icon anymore. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to lose track of where the doors are.
That's right.
Can you draw on the map?
I think it's
Or maybe
hidden by the fog of war as well.
maybe just old school draw your own little map
Yeah, maybe.
with then with mistakes and all.
There. Now, how do I get rid of it?
I mean, honestly, it's well, yeah, you could do that, but also I don't mind if you wanted to ask me, because like your characters, again, your characters know this, and for your characters, it's been minutes or hours and not months between
Yeah.
that encounter with the door. So I'd be totally fine if you were like, did we miss anything? That corridor down there, is that a dead end, or what was that again? I don't see a reason in making the player mistakes the character mistakes. I don't think we need to do that. All right, I'm gonna jump off.
Yeah.
Thanks for
See
playing.
you guys next week,
Okay.
maybe.
Good night. Yes.
We'll see how this ends.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.